.357 Magnum versus .45 ACP and full-size handguns. And today what I have is the Civil Defense by Liberty Ammunition. The .357 Magnum is a 50 grain projectile rated at 2100 feet per second. The .45 ACP is a 78 grain rated at 1900 feet per second. A little bit disappointed in the past when I tested that .357 Magnum and the 2-inch barrel only got a little bit less than 1700 feet per second. And people would say, well, that's to be expected in a snub-nosed barrel, which I would agree, except for the fact that the 9mm was significantly faster than the .357 Magnum, and that's not quite right in my book. So we're going to test these in longer barrels, and the reason why I choose these guns, the Glock has a 5.3-inch barrel there. The Smith & Wesson revolver has a 4-inch barrel, and that equals out to about 4.1 inches of bullet travel from nose to muzzle with both of those particular handguns. That's why I use those particular handguns. But we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time, and then as always we're going to go through the Juggernaut box, which contains a 1 3/4 inch pack of baloney covered by 4 layers of denim, followed by 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard to simulate ribs or sternum, and it's a water jugs to catch these bullets. How this normally compares to ballistics shells, about the back of the third jug is usually equivalent to about 15 inches. The back of jug 4 is about 18 inches. So pretty much that's how this works. Each one is about 3 inches comparison to ballistics shell, even though it's 6 inches wide of water, because the ballistic baloney pack represents about 6 inches, even though it's about 2.5 inches thick, or 2 inches thick. So let's get started with the test and see how the Civil Defense by Liberty Ammunition compares to each other in full-size handguns. All right, first up is the .45 ACP, rated at 1900 feet per second. We'll see how close we get. $19.83. 1956, 1966, 1993, 1925. So not too bad. We got overrated velocity. I assume this was probably rated out of a 5-inch barrel, and this is a 5.3 inch. So that might explain it a little bit, but not too bad. Consistency. One's a little bit low in consistency of velocity, but overall very powerful. Let's see how the .357 Magnum compares in the 4-inch barrel. .357 Magnum, we'll see if we get a little bit closer to that 2100 feet per second. We got about 1650 to 1700 in the 2-inch barrel. $19.84. 1970, same hole. 2031, 2019, 2020. So we still did not get that 2100 feet per second, but we're pretty much 300 feet per second faster than we were in the 2-inch barrel. Again, this is very loud, not a lot of recoil though. Well, let's hit the ballistic box and see how they compare to each other. All right, .45 ACP. We'll see how this does. There is no baloney anywhere except on me. We went through the 4 layers of denim. The fiberboard is completely inside the jug. First jug was blown to pieces. This is a first because I'm not going to have a baloney pat to show you guys in a final photo. This is absolute annihilation. And then some. So here's our first jug. There's actually a piece of copper lodged in the first jug here. Our fiberboard is completely cracked. The entire thing is cracked. Looks like a pretty traditional hollow point size hole, but a lot of damage coming outwards. So that first jug is just totally annihilated. We'll go on to jug 2, and I see something interesting in the box right now. So what I'm seeing right now in the box Very strange here. The base of that bullet is here. Let's take a look at jug 2. There's absolutely zero damage on jug 2, so that's going to indicate 12 inches comparison to the ballistics gel. And then here we are, base of the bullet. So we're talking about a lot of shallow energy dump for sure, not very much penetration. Let's try the 357 mag, see how that compares. 357 Magnum, roughly the same velocity, but smaller diameter, less weight, less energy. But we'll see how it does. And we have similar results with the fiberboard. It is in the jug. There's a lot of baloney up there. There's baloney all over the ground here. Not quite as much damage, but pretty similar to the 45. So I could pick up this much of the baloney pack. Not a lot left of it. I see the fiberboard in the first jug. Let's take a look at that. A lot of baloney up here. Big mess. Wow. All right, we have the same thing with the fiberboard. The whole thing is cracked. That's putting, and the whole thing's bowed out too. So it's really hitting with a lot of energy. It's pushing that baloney pack in enough to crack an entire board and bow the whole thing out. First jug, not quite as much damage as the 45, but still a lot. And this is the same jug from the 45, and again, it did not damage it at all. So we're equivalent to about 12 inches of ballistics gel penetration. I don't see the bullet anywhere. Now I see it. So what we got is the same thing for the bullet. It just broke the whole nose off, and it went around jug 2, so it must have exited at the bottom of jug 1. Yeah, very bottom. Just skirted around jug 2, so it's still going to be about 12 inches ballistics gel comparison to this particular medium here. So what I have to say about this ammunition is it looks like they're taking a lot of time to make their semi-automatic cartridges very efficient, very close to rated velocity, but they're kind of skipping out on their revolver cartridges. Not really impressed with this. Again, the 45 is more impressive, I'll give it that. A lot of shallow damage. It might be something that could be used. It might be a good home defense round. It still has a lot of energy there. The 357, I don't think it's quite worth it with the 357. We're just not getting those velocities. It's very loud. It is low recoil, but I would not want to use it for a home defense choice because it has a little bit higher decibels than ordinary ammunition from what I can tell. And it's not really performing that great. So Liberty ammunition, civil defense, 357 Magnum versus 45 ACP and full-size handguns, that's what you get. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.